Campbells Comments at the Nutrien Masters. Is that right, Joel Fleming? I think I got it right. Masters camp draft sale?
You bet, yep, the Nutrien Masters sale.
Sale, no camp draft in it. The camp draft's next door, and that goes on with the horses that qualify. You just said there before about the prize money. There's $150,000 of prize money on next door.
Yeah, $150,000. That's for the feature event, the Graduates Camp Draft. So that's open to any horses that have ever been purchased through a Nutrien sale, whether that be Toowoomba, Tamworth. Also, when there was horses purchased out of the Willinga Park sale down there, when the sale's running. So anything that's been purchased and still remains in that owner's name is eligible to compete in what we call the Graduates Camp Draft.
It is massive. So this sale here is the first year that it's been had, but it is going to continue to grow because there's a bit of a changing to the Nutrien Classic, if you like. It's going to change as of this year, next selling season, I believe.
Yeah, big changes. So this sale was brought about to basically to showcase open age horses, and so what we're doing in 2023 at the Classic, that will be the last year that an open age horse, which is 5 years and over, is allowed to nominate to be sold at that sale, and we're really going to try and restrict that to 30 or 40 horses and performed horses to showcase them. And then as of 2024, there'll be no open age section at the Classic. It'll all be focused on this sale. So from 2024, there will be an open age sale, which will be here in springtime, and then there'll be our feature sale, the Classic, for 5 years and under, which will remain in February.
How long have you been a part of Nutrien, and how long have you been a part of this actual sales event as well?
So it was 10 years. It was actually 10 years in February this year. I started. It was my first trip down here to Tamworth. I was living in Queensland at the time, and I actually got a sell that year because Mark Barton had a slight incident and broke his arm, so I ended up selling that year. So I've been selling here for 10 years.
You come off the bench for Barto?
Yeah, basically he had a slight mishap with leaning on a wheelie bin with his foot from the rostrum, and down he went.
Didn't know that story, but that's pretty funny. So now everyone else knows that as well. How much has it changed in that 10 years?
Oh, huge! Like the event side of things has just grown. Like the prize money is tenfold bigger than it used to be. The calibre of horses that we're seeing come through that sale it's next level compared. It's growing. The whole industry's growing.
Do you have a love of the horses, or is it a love of the auctioneering that got you involved?
No, both. So I grew up camp drafting, and from a camp drafting family, it's taken a backseat. We haven't really done much in the last 5 or 6 years ourselves. I had a wife and 2 little kids, so they're sort of just not at the stage where we can go and do that. But grew up camp drafting, and then got into agency. So it's the best of both worlds for me.
Well, the guys I talk to, they say about how it's changed, and they say Nutrien are driving that change with the professionalism that they do. Have you enjoyed the change, as a person that has competed as well?
Oh, for sure. Like this, the professionalism that's in the what you would call the performance horse industry now is just tenfold more than it used to be. And it's a change that needed to happen, and it's a change, and it's a credit to the founders of this, like Mark Barton being one, and the late Charlie Marr, that this industry has basically got to where it is because those guys got behind it and believed in it from the start.
It's a two-way street. The participants have to buy into that as well. And I think, I love it, from a trotting point of view. I wish a lot of our people could come here and watch presentation and how they sell it. And if they didn't have the buy-in, it would only get to a certain level, but they're all in, aren't they?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like a lot of those people that sell horses here, that's not all they do. Like they're fierce competitors as well, so they want to be part of the whole system.
Last year, I was lucky enough. I was standing right up the top, and there was a certain black mare came into the sales ring. You might have been the lucky person to actually sell it. Did that exceed? There was rumours around that there was a filly going to make good money, but did it exceed what you were expecting?
Oh, huge, yeah, Bad in Black. That's definitely a highlight of my career, if not the highlight of my auctioneering career. There was talk about before. There was 2 particular mares that year that there was talk about, and I think the other mare that was spoken about made just a tickle under 300,000. And at that point, people started saying, well, that mare, she might make the same. She could go round it, of which it's hard to judge if a horse is going to make 300 or 500,000. But we had no idea that it was going to go that high.
Do do you want to keep going? Like, it must be a hell of a rush for you, because this is this is what you want to do, and you want to set a record. Do you say, well, I've got to start winding this up, or you just like, no, let's just let this keep going and going and going?
Nah, I could have gone for as long as it wanted. I was there all day.
and do you get a buzz, like standing back there? You sort of half high five yourself in your head while it's going on?
I don't know about high five yourself, but it was it was certainly a buzz while it was going on. Like, I enjoy selling all prices of horses, but that one there, you get the tingles up halfway through. You're thinking this is going to, it could set a record, and then you go past the record, and then you think, how far is this going to go?
It's scary. I mean, you're a big group. There's a group of you guys behind there. You work as a team. I'm sure everyone would have been pumped behind it. But it must have been just a cracking feeling. I would have thought.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like, the boys were all stoked. Like, we were all stoked for the for the vendor as well. Like, it well and truly exceeded Holly's expectations. So to see how happy everybody was about it, it was unreal. But it was good for it was good for us. It was good for the vendors. It was just it was a great moment.
Preworks is going on here behind us at the minute, and everyone comes in here. They get their horses warmed up, then they stand there and they'll watch. A lot of people that may not be aware of it, and then they take them in there. You guys basically talk about them. You, I suppose, reiterate their pedigrees, what they've done. You might have notes from the person selling. It's a different way to do it, especially, again, for myself. I mean, we just walk them around for a start, but the way you do it. Do you enjoy it? Like, it seems like today you don't get an earn at all, but you sort of can set a basis for a good day tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is an enjoyable part of it, because you'll have, and that's why we do it in this industry, because on paper, you'll have X amount of horses marked up, and then when they come through, well, cross that one off, it's not what I'm after, or tick that one, and then oftentimes, say you've got 20 horses marked up, you might cross off half of them, but after pre-works you've got another five that you didn't even think about marked up. So, and that, a lot of our buyers have become accustomed to that, and it's a very important part of our whole sale week at all of our sales. That horses get a pre-work, people get a chance to see exactly what they are.
I want to reiterate, so next year will be the last where the open age horses will be able to get into, but even that's possibly going to be a little bit restricted, if that's the right way to put it.
Yeah, a little bit restricted. We're still going to invite all people that are interested to nominate, but we'd really like to have 30 or 40 horses there, and showcase horses, whether they be performed in the challenge world, cutting world, camp draft arena, and then that will cease after 2023, and the classic at 2024. The Nutrien Classic sale will be classic eligible horses only.
One of the great things is Nutrien. You guys have their own page and websites, a performance horse page, and that. Saw a few interviews of you last year. You're not bad on the interviews either. You don't mind doing them, do you?
I get roped into a few every now and again.
I saw a very, very funny one that wasn't allowed to be aired last year as well. Is there any chance you'll be able to get those sort of ones aired at any stage?
I think if I still want to work with the company, probably not.
But it is funny. But they're a great group of guys, aren't they? They all have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and we've all been together. Like I say, I've been here 10 years. We're coming up to our 16th classic sale. Look, there's a lot of us that have been together a long time now, and it's all like the whole Nutrien thing's like basically a family. But also these vendors and buyers, that a lot of these guys have been around from the start, or been here 5 years, 10 years plus. Like it's almost its own community when you get everybody here.
You said there before you got a young family. You also just embarked on your own business, or recently, I suppose, a change of business. Is that right? The way you're darting your eyes around. I was told to make sure I gave it a little plug, but I'm hoping I'm on the right track.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, things changed a little bit and went from just strictly doing livestock to now doing livestock and real estate, based out of Tamworth for the livestock, but go across most of northern New South Wales and do the real estate, rural real estate out Armidale and Dorrigo as well. So it's been good, and that's a business that my wife's involved in as well. And then we've also had some recent changes just here at Tamworth. We've got a new man on board, Tim Hollis, who's actually very well performed camp drafter, and him and his wife are very well known through the camp drafting community. Tim and Amanda Hollis. So he's just come on board to do the livestock out of Tamworth. So it's a good team.
So he'll do the livestock, your wife, your wife and his wife, and he will do the real estate. That's a big business.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So yeah, Timmy will do that. Timmy will focus on the livestock more so, and I'll keep doing the livestock and real estate. And he's a great guy, great family, and it's all going to work pretty well.
There's one thing I'll say. I've got a New Zealand mate with me. We come backtracking. Beautiful part of the world. There's some beautiful farms. You've got a pretty good job actually to be able to go there and try and showcase them for people. But it is a beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, northern New South Wales. I grew up, did a bit of growing up in Glen Innes for 5 or 6 years, but that's about it. I'm from down south, but yeah, no, it's a magnificent part of the world.
Joel, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Good luck tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes well, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you.